Hello here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. In that previous episode, we washed up on the shores of Colent Island. In today's video, we still have 64 rubies just like Nintendo 64. I'm so happy about that. I kind of want to not get any more rubies for the rest of the playthrough, so we can keep that up as long as we can. So... now we got one of these things. Guardian Acorn, reduce damage taken by him. So exciting. You see nothing, you see nothing, you see nothing. There was nothing there. Nothing happened on screen. We have 64 rubies. That's all the rubies we'll ever need in this cold world. I opened a door all by myself. Level 1, Tail Cave. This is the first dungeon in The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. And it has a really cool feature that never returned in a future game except for the remake. So, let's demonstrate that. You've got the compass. Now you can see where the chests and Nightmare are hidden. This compass has a new feature. A tone will tell you if a key is hidden in a room when you enter. Burp, 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 burp. Yeah, so, crap. Okay, we only have a heart, half a heart left. That is not the most ideal situation in the world. But yeah, that tone that plays with the compass whenever you get into a room that has a key inside of it. I don't know why it never returned in a future game. It's like, we're at 65 rupees now. Do I wanna rewind? Do I wanna rewind? Yes, I wanna rewind. Yes, I want to rewind. I know I'll need rubies later in the game, but still, I want it to be 64. You've got a small key. You can open a locked door. That text box is burned into my brain. Alright, so yeah, that's another big reason why I chose the Game Boy Color version, specifically playing on Switch Online for this Let's Play. Because it's just easier for me to rewind if I want to show something cool. You got a piece of power, you can feel the energy flowing through you. Like this part right here. Whee! That'll take us from the other side of the store, but we don't need to go on that side of the door, we can just go over here. Now, I'm gonna replay that clip, and look at Link. I understand it's a sprite limitation, but Link going into black and white whenever he touches that door is just always amusing to me. These things on the corner of the floor, if you stand on them for too long, it's going to make you fall. Falling underground. Alright, the piece of power is actually pretty cool. So, you can make it like, make enemies fly super far away from you. And, oh no! Oh no! Oh no! We opened a treasure chest with rubies! Dang it! We don't have 64 anymore! Oh, everything is ruined! Oh, no! Okay, it's fine. It is fine. Everything is fine. Okay, well, let's go over this way. Owie boo-boo. Owie boo-boo on my face. This area over here I want to go to before we do anything else in the dungeon. This owl statue is trying to say something, but you can't understand it because it has no beak. On the original version of Link's Awakening, the original black and white on the Game Boy, those were stone fragments that were missing a piece. That makes way more sense than an owl statue missing a beak. I'm just gonna say that right now. That's a change from the original version that I think is like lesser on this one. I don't know. It makes sense. Owl statues are like a thing in the Zelda series at this point. Gabora was a thing, big deal in Ocarina of Time and things like that, and that came out before the Game Boy Color version, like in between the two versions of the game. But still, it's such a weird change. Alright, now these guys, I don't remember what their names are, so I'm going to call them Larry. Larry, whenever you are fighting them, they're going to charge at you with the hurdy thing, and then they'll stab you with the hurty thing. So you want to do is protect yourself with the shooty thingy, and then you can stab them with the stabby thing. And these guys, they're beloved Goombas. I'm a lonely Goomba, stuck between two pipes. Well, guess I'll keep on gaming for the rest of my life. Goombas are forever ruined for me. So, Goombas are interesting. You may notice that they dropped hearts when we stomped on them, but if we attack them with a shield, they don't drop a heart. This is kind of like a nice way to grind up on hearts early on if you're running low on health. So, I will say, without going into big spoilers or anything like that, try to not die in this game. Something special happens if you make it through the entire game without dying. You've got the Rock's Feather. It feels like your body is a lot lighter. One of the big things that people will complain about this game is the fact that you have to pause so often to switch between items. This has never bothered me. Like, it's just like a subconscious thing at this point to go back and forth between items and things like that. I think it mostly helps the fact that I've played this game so many times that, like I know what items I'm going to be needing going up. But that being said, I always have my sword equipped with my B button, so unless I have, like, need to have two specific items at the same time, yeah, I'll usually just have the sword and the B button. But yeah, the Goombas, they'll always drop hearts if you stomp on them, so that's something that you want to keep in mind. Let's head over this way. I have that song stuck in my head now, Underground from Labyrinth. Yeah, we opened a thingy! And now we can open big thingy. You've got the Nightmare's key. Now you can open the door to the Nightmare's lair. Now, the enemy boss dungeon key things, they seem to change the names like every other Zelda game. So, like, in most of the 3D Zelda games, like Majora's Mask, they were, like, boss keys. In Wind Waker, they were big keys. In this game, they're Nightmare keys. So, that's pretty fun. It's a fun little detail. Alright, let's go over here. Do we have the stone slab? We do not. Okay. We need to look for that. Actually, I remember where it is. So, these guys right here, I always imagine that they're like penguins, or like playing poker or whatever. But these guys, what I recommend you do is try to be as close to as many of them as possible. And then you can do a spin attack to get them like that. And then try to remember the pattern. So once it gets to the heart, that's when we want to attack. Yay! We did it! We did it! Yay! You found a stone beak. Let's find the owl statue that belongs to it.
Oh, freaking Link, I'm gonna return my beak. Oh, I appreciate this so much, man. Hey, Link, where are you going? Link!
Turn aside the spined ones with the shield. I guess we probably could have... Okay, now I gotta see what those other statues say. I guess if I thought about it a bit more cleverly, I probably could have gotten that first, and then we could have used the owl hint to showcase this technique. But you know what? This is my Let's Play. I can do whatever I want. It's my job to show you what we need to do. If there's a door that you can't open, move a stone block. We did it. Turn aside the spine ones. That's the same one the other guy says! Dude! If you're gonna copy someone else's work, at least make it look a little original. Ah! Fart! I died. I died on the first dungeon in a game I've 100%ed 100 times. That is a new low. Okay, you see nothing. This is a magical. This is magical game strat skills. That was all a speedrunning tactic. You see, well, triggering a death like that and then doing a rewinding thingy is gonna save us so much time later on in the Let's Play. Like, you don't even know. You don't even know how much time that's gonna save. I died twice in the same first dungeon! Okay. This is all an illusion. You don't see anything. I'm just gonna go down here for a moment and go squish some Goombas. I'm gonna go squish some Goombas. Yeah, you see, that's what happened the first time. The other point, that was just from a failed recording, and that's all. That's like all just like a failed recording that I wasn't actually supposed to show in the Let's Play. But I'm just such a bad editor that I just left it in. I just left it in. I felt like having attention today. This is the only way that I can get attention. Let's move on from that ramble. Yeah, let's go over this way. Now, you may notice that if you go on the select button, that's not the button, the start button, I should say. When you go on the start button, we'll see the map on the corner of the screen, and the dungeon here looks like a key, so that's pretty fun. There is that one room right in the middle over there that we can't do anything with quite yet. It's gonna bother me, but we'll get there eventually. This guy is adorable. He looks so squishy, even on this version. He looks especially squishy on the Game Boy, on the Switch version. He looks so squishy, and I want to squish him. I want a plushie of this guy. Except now we can't now because he's dead. I guess technically you could still squish a dead body, but that's probably frowned upon. So now we can go into the warp hole. Teleport link. Wow, that's some good teleport in there. Bzz, bzz, outsider. Ah, I wanna go home! A little dark for a Zelda game, isn't it? And a bit of a fun story about these things. There is a glitch later in the game that I have an especially fun story with when it comes to those skeletons. But anywho, now let's go face our nightmare. Using the super amazing powers of the sword spinny thingy, we can go like that. Jumping around, and being super careful. Ah, we can do this. Take 3! Why am I having so much trouble with this? I wonder what it was like for kids who played Link to the Past first and saw like how much of a nightmare Mulder was to deal with in that game. And then seeing that a boss like that was the first one you face here. This is a boss where I feel like it's either going to be like a super easy thing or a super difficult thing. Where like normally I don't struggle with this thing at all. I can beat him in like 2 seconds, but man, this is not my strongest performance. Are you freaking kidding me? Down in the underground, you find someone true. Ah, you! That is 6 times we have died in the first freaking dungeon. Okay, we can do this. I believe in us. Take 70, whatever take this is. I lost count. But we got this. We got full hearts. Let's go. Bzz, bzz, outsider. Oh my goodness gracious on a stick! We finally did it! Ah, that took way too long! Let's play Curse You Win again. Okay, fun fact, this is one of the only Zelda games in the entire series where you can't actually go through the boss door to finish the dungeon until you pick up the heart. So, you can't do a 3-heart run in this game, which is sad. But they changed that in the Switch remake, and that's awesome, because I'm doing a 3-hour run in that game. You've got the Full Moon Cello. Swamp. A path opens in the bloom.